Hi everyone, it is Krissa back with a speed build. So it's been a while since I have done one of these. I had some technical issues and I really just kind of had to figure out where I wanted to go with it. So today we are in San Sequoia, um, starting off a nice sized lot for Meet the Feldons, everyone. So the Feldons are a man and wife who have just gotten out of high school sweethearts who have just gotten out of high school. So they start off with a really small lot. The way I play these games when I play this kind of family play is I start off with a pretty small lot. It might be somewhat decent sized, at least for a first time house, but they're not going to be any great big giant houses because this family, as they go, they're going to save up. I have SNB Bank and Bills mods, so they'll have a savings account, and as they save, I can justify when they want to do this big kitchen renovation or when they want to repaint things. Um, and I will say one thing I do miss about previous Sims games, not in The Sims 4, where if you did a renovation and you added a different paint, it charged you. So I will normally go around and find the square footage and of each square and multiply and deduct from their finances for it to make up for it. Sometimes I just kind of troubleshoot and say, okay, let's just put this amount. Um, so deduct this amount, anywho. So when I do builds like this, some stuff stays in the same space. Kitchens, for the most part, will stay. They might. It's not unrealistic necessarily to say that a family's going to knock out a wall and add a big kitchen extension, but it's certainly not going to happen here. Um, it's just not kind of my style. The amount of plumbing and the amount of electrical that would be there, I would not find it worth it. I would rather expand in a different direction. So they do have places, if you look as I place that bed, they do have definite places in which to expand. But things like kitchens, things like bathrooms, mostly are going to stay in the same spot. They might expand outward, but places like as far as where the fixtures are, as far as the bathtub or the toilet, are going to pretty much stay put. Things like the fridge, you might have some more wiggle room depending just on how the house is laid out. But for the most part, stuff like that's going to stay in one spot. So as you can see here, I'm adding just a couple little decorations. They're poor, they're just starting out. I started them off with $5,000 to build this house with, so they're not rich by any means of the word. Wish I could have a house with $5,000. Wouldn't that be great, y'all? But so, they've got their towels, they've got some toilet paper. I thought that was kind of me. In fact, I thought that was very kind. So, and they've got their Murphy bed. And for right now, that's what they'll keep. Originally, I was going to give them a desk and a computer and a chair. However, I realized how little money we would have left, and I still needed to do at least a little bit of landscaping. So for right now, they're too broke to have any kind of electronics other than their phones. So now we go ahead and put the lighting. Lighting is one thing I will change up. I will change the type of lighting. I also will change placement because that at least I know can be done somewhat reasonably. If you know the right people, you know the right things to do. And now if you, as you see here, I am taking some terrain paint and I'm actually blocking out the future, well, I don't want to say the future area of the house, but really the future area of the house, just so I don't forget kind of where I want to go with it and what direction I want to go. And trying to somewhat clean it up at least a little bit so I have even just a bare idea of what I want in the future for this house to look like. And this kind of thing, this part of planning is always subject to change as I go by and as I go on, especially as roofing is not my strong suit. So it's just a thought process of, would this work? Would I like this? Would I be able to deal with this? And for right now, I'm happy with what those future plans kind of seem to look like. So now we're on to the roofing. This roofing here is really, really simple. There was no need to do anything super fancy for this couple, at least not for right now, at least. So later on, we will get fancier and they will have a much nicer house that doesn't just look like a giant L shape. But for right now, this was all they really needed. And just making some more adjustments to the roof and the column that I did add. And then I tried really hard not to use CC. It's hard for me not to sometimes because I just don't think about it, because I use it so much in my own personal builds. But I went ahead and just gave a nice dark green for them, and applied some roof trim. And unfortunately, they are not quite too broke for windows. We do give them a couple. I thought I was being quite generous, in fact, because I did give them more than one. And windows are also something where, when I make these builds, that I might change out the type of window, but I do try to keep them at least somewhat in the same. If you had all the money in the world, I could see it for sure, but I do not foresee these people having, these Sims having that kind of money anytime soon, at least. But you never know, he might get a really wonderful job. So now we're just placing down the mailbox and the outside trash can because we didn't get one inside. So that's really all they have. And I realized at this point I almost forgot the flooring and the inside interior wallpapering and flooring. Oops. So I really like that shade of the, I believe it was the Echo from the Eco-Friendly pack, of the wood. That wood is just very pretty. It and cats and dogs are probably my two favorites as far as wallpapers and flooring go. They look really pretty, I think. So here I am just solidifying what colors I want to use, and I add in a window to the bathroom and just double check that everything's the way I want it to look inside. And at this point I realized that I had left out a block of terrain paint, which was meant to be their driveway one day when they save up enough to have a car. So I had to rectify that. I had to fix that quickly. And then get rid of the extra mailbox that should not be there. Made just a couple more adjustments, and then there you have it. That's my speed build for the day. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!